Hello and welcome to this session, friends. My name is Yogesh. Today we are going to discuss on one of the DevOps topic on how to set up AWS EC2 instances using Ansible Playbook. Friends, in DevOps culture, it's not worthy to manually setting up EC2 instances. Instead, you want to automate all the EC2 builds. One of the requirement where I think automation of EC2 instance creation would be helpful. Let's say if you created some trigger that if load on your application's code beyond one particular point, so one of the job will trigger EC2 creation playbook, which will add one new server to your application pool. So that's the automation way, friends, I'm thinking. So for that purpose, I've written a small playbook that's not very well written, or I can say that's with all the recommended parameters I have included, but that's for demo purpose. You may add a different feature, you may customize it as per your requirement, but again I said that's for explaining how easily you can create EC2 instance and security groups using Ansible. So let me bring up my putty session. So friends, this is a server. I believe you remember this name now. This is a server I'm using to communicate with Amazon AWS API gateways. And here, let me show you playbook which I have written. I'm doing Vim on that one, so it would be colorful thing. Okay, so I am going to up. Okay, so friends, what this playbook is going to do? First, it is going to create a custom security group. If you remember, in my last videos I have discussed security group is basically firewall group, where you define like the network configuration, like these ports need to be open and traffic would be accepted from this particular source on this port. So that's a custom rules. I'm not using default Amazon security groups. I'm going to create one custom group for myself. As second step, this script will, or this playbook will spin a new EC2 instance. I have put instances, but this will only spin instances. But if you change one of the parameter, which is count, you can spin multiple instances. And third, it will wait for SSH to become active on instance. Why I have kept this? Because what happens, let's say your instance is created using this playbook, but I want this playbook to wait until like the instance is properly booted or accessible on network. That's the reason I have added one additional function. Here I want to explain, if you see this particular host bit, that's a local host, because this script is not going to run on any remote system. It's direct communication with Amazon, so it's local host. And these are the tasks. And first task name, setting up security firewall group, EC2 underscore group, that's Amazon EC2 module. Here I have named it AWS security Yogesh underscore AWS security group, and this is a description I have added. It will allow traffic on port 22, which is SSH, and port 80, which is HTTP. Region, I'm using US West 2 as default region, so I have just mentioned, and these are the rules. So in first rule, in this particular security group, traffic from port 80 to port 80 from anywhere would be accepted, which would be TCP protocol. And next one, traffic on port 22 from anywhere. And this is rule egress, mean for all other ports traffic would be not allowed. Okay, this is the security group configuration. So Ansible Playbook is going to create this particular security group for us. Next is provisioning a EC2 instance. Okay, let me explain, because this is a bit important. I'm using EC2 module here. Key name is basically your SSH key pair. In my last video, I have generated or uploaded this particular key pair to Amazon site, and for this test I'm going to use same key pair, so it will demonstrate the key pair which we uploaded in last video. That's working. I believe it should be working, but again, if any issue, we can figure it out and we can fix it. This is the region, again US West 2. Instance type, here I'm using t2.micro, but that's up to you which instance type you want to use. And this is the image is basically AMI. I'm using Red Hat 7.2 AMI, so I have selected this particular wait, yes, that it will wait, and this is the timeout value. Count 1, it means it will only spin a 1 instance. If you want to spin, let's say 10 instance, just replace 1 with 10. That's up to you. Again, that depend upon your instance creation limit. Instance tags. Here, this is the tag name, this is tag value. I have added tag name, and this is the value. Tag name is owner, value is Yogesh. Monitoring, no, I don't want to use any monitoring. If you want to set up monitoring, say yes here. This is the VPC. Assign public IP, yes, I want to use public IP. If you don't want public IP, just say no here. You can use your own VPC or any custom configuration if you have. This is the group. Friends, this is a firewall group which will created here. If you see, this is a group name. I have just added the name here. This is the firewall group. Register EC2 out. Friend, what register mean? Register is a holder or which will keep all the outputs from this particular job. So all the output from this particular job will be registered in this particular variable. And next step, what I'm doing, I'm just waiting for SSH to come up. How this particular module will aware that SSH is up, and for which host actually SSH need to be checked. Here if you see, wait for is the module basically, and host is equal to item.public underscore DNS underscore name. So this is the item in this case is this one, and public DNS name, because if you see I have set it public DNS true, so it will get public DNS name. So this is basically public DNS name. Port 22, which is for SSH. This is the delay. This is the timeout value. State is equal to started. It means until SSH is started, this particular playbook will wait to finish. And with the item, what it mean? EC2 underscore out. This is a register variable. And dot instances. Instances is one of the attribute in this particular output. So it means this SSH will wait until this system comes up and SSH is started. So let's begin instance creation, friends. I'm just writing quitting. First, to run playbook, I have to type Ansible Playbook and then followed by playbook name, pressing enter here. It may take some time, friends, but I will pause this video during that interval. If you see setting up SSH security group, it is showing change. It means it already created one security group for us. That's good thing. If it is saying okay, it means nothing changed, like no security group created, or it will give error. And next step is provision a EC2 instance. So this particular playbook is creating one EC2 instance. You see this bit, it now said changed. It means instance has been created. Now next step, it is waiting for SSH to come up on that particular EC2 instance. So okay, friends, this task is also finished. If you see, this is the output which is generated at the end of this task, and these are the summary. Okay, 4 changed to unreachable 0, which mean that's good. Failed is equal to 0, it means everything worked well, and this is the output we got. So friends, what it mean, instance has been created and that instance is on network. That's why this playbook finished. So let's try to log into that instance. If you see, this particular bit is instance ID, which just got created, and this is the public IP bit. Here I'm just copying this particular bit, and we all know, like, we have to log in with EC2 user because I have not set it up any other user to log in. So I'm going to use EC2 user SSH EC2 -user at the server, and this is the identity file. Friends, as I used my own key pair, I'm specifying identity file. If you're still unaware how I have created my own key pair, you can refer video on how to upload your SSH key pair. There I have explained how to upload your custom SSH keys. Now I'm using my own SSH key. Here it's under root, and id underscore pub. This is my private key. Pressing enter here, and it is, I'm logging in first time, so it is adding it to non-host list, saying yes. Okay friends, if you see, we are on EC2 instance now. This is on Red Hat 7.2. So friends, that's it. Using Ansible Playbook, that's very easy to spin up a new instance, create security group, and you can do multiple tasks. You can use user data, you can add some function to do some application configuration stuff for you, and that is thing you can 100% automate. So no manual involvement required. So friends, that's it in this video. If you like this video, just hit the like button. If you have any suggestion or any query or any comment, just leave your views on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot friends. Bye bye.